Okay. So what are your thoughts on the supplement industry today?
I think it's the way it's progressed since I started training, even since I retired from the sport, which was in '97. It's advanced amazingly. We've got so many different products on the market now, which is great. And the industry is very competitive, so it forces each company to do their research and try to continually come up with better and more effective products.
And what kept you motivated all those years when you were in your competition time?
Just having goals. I was speaking earlier in the seminar about having goals. Everyone's got their own personal goals. Obviously mine was, as I was progressing different things, to be national champion, then to be a professional bodybuilder, and then to be Mr. Olympia. And obviously that's a very strong goal. You're the best in the world and you want to maintain that. So I always had long-term goals, which would be usually a competition for myself because I was a competitive bodybuilder. But it's important to break those down into small goals. Every month you want to have a goal for your weights, for your body weight, for your strength, and so on. I think that's important, and to be consistent. There's no good training all out and eating properly for a week or two, and then let it all go to pot for a couple of weeks. So to have goals and to be consistent, I think that's the answer to that.
Definitely. And then in your career, if you had to do anything over again, would you? Change it?
Yeah, I would try not to get severely injured. Several weeks before I missed Olympia twice. What I learned from that is you have to modify your training a little bit going into a competition. You can't train as heavy and as super intense, or in fact you don't need to going into a competition. You have to shift your training mentality from training all out and trying to gain muscle to just maintaining and holding that muscle while you're restricting your calories and doing more cardio to get into shape. So if there's anything I could do over, that would be it. The last couple of months before a competition I would be more cautious and train a little bit more moderately, a little bit more.
Definitely. And then what do you think about bodybuilders today compared to when you first started in the sport? How's the industry changed?
It's changed, yeah. I tend to think there was a little bit more mystique about the whole thing when I was competing, and maybe that's because now everything's so accessible with the internet and everything. Mm-hmm. When I started and when I was competing, you had to wait for the magazines if you wanted information, or you had to go to a seminar. Now everything is available online, so it's changed tremendously because of the internet, I think.
Definitely. Do you think the overall shape of the bodybuilder has changed? Or
I think in the previous decade when I was competing in the 90s, I think the actual conditioning, the shape that the bodybuilders came in was a little bit superior to now, whereas now the guys are a little bit bigger and a little bit fuller. So it's a bit of a different look, and I don't want to sound like some old guy who's saying it was always better in my day, but I do think the conditioning of the bodybuilders in the 90s was superior to the guys now, although the guys now are a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Definitely just a totally different look. So now that you're not competing, what are your passions and hobbies outside the gym? Obviously, you still work out and stay involved there.
Yeah, I still work out, and I've enjoyed doing some other sports. I've done some martial arts with some friends of mine. Things like that. When you're like a competitive athlete, you have to concentrate solely on your sport, on your discipline. You can't really do anything else because you risk injury. It might interfere with the recovery and everything. So I think the thing that I enjoy now is being more flexible, having a bit more freedom with the diet, with the training. Mm-hmm. I can do different things. I can spend more time with my children and stuff like that.
So do you have any fun, like quirky, random hobbies, like gardening or anything that's different?
Not much of a gardener, really. I like music and I like fashion and stuff like that. I used to like that when I was younger, but when you weigh 300 pounds, you can't really find much nice clothes to fit you. So I do that, and I spend time with my kids. I've got a son that's 26, and I've got a 9-year-old girl. So I can spend a lot more time with her than I could when I was competing and totally focused. So it's just a more relaxed lifestyle, I think.
Does your son want to take after you?
I don't think so. I think he saw what I went through. So I think he faces that. But he works out. He does weight training. He does martial arts. He stays in shape. So, it's kind of in the family, I think.
That's cool. And the last question. So what would you say to all those people out there? There's always haters and naysayers. How do you stay positive through it all?
Everything in life you can look at positive or negative, half full or half empty. I don't worry about negative people. I don't let them affect me. If you see somebody that's successful, that's doing well, there's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it in a negative way, in that person's success makes you feel insecure, makes you feel like a failure. Or you can look at that person and you can say, wow, look what he done, and maybe I can do it then. Let's use that as an inspiration. So some people just look at it in a negative way and want to attack somebody that's successful because it's making them feel insecure. So I don't worry about negative people. Let them get on with it.
Good answer. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot. Cheers.